I don't know if you have any troubles lately. There is no best. It's normal to have. Who doesn't encounter some bad things in this life?
I think even the British royal family or the richest man in the world.
He should have his troubles. It's just a little different from us ordinary people.
He probably has more troubles. So today,
let me introduce you to one.
A great way to get rid of all your worries. This method comes from a book. The name of the book is No Reflection. Practice the Buddha's super-rational thinking.
Let all your worries disappear.
This book was published in 2015.
It became a super bestseller on Amazon as soon as it was released. Now under the ranking of Amazon bookstore-related categories. It is also the #1 bestseller. There are more than 10,000 positive reviews.
Rated up to 4.4. So the author of this book
is a Japanese Buddhist monk.
His name is Ryujin Kusanagi. He was a Buddhist monk who studied primitive Buddhism. Introduced a simple and practical, based on Buddha's thinking.
A way to eliminate all your worries.
Even if you don't believe in Buddhism. Don't know anyone.
It doesn't matter if he is Buddha. What this book teaches.
Very simple. Very easy to understand. Moreover, the author of the book also emphasized that talk about Buddhist thought is based on causality and objective facts. So it's more like science.
And basically Buddha is not a god,
but enlightened. Shakyamuni, that is Buddha.
He is human after all.
Not omniscient and omnipotent.
So what he says must be reasonable. It doesn't matter what God says.
Anyway, just listen. But since Buddha is a human being, he speaks. That's unreasonable to say.
Everyone will not believe it.
So about the characteristics of Buddhism.
That is, it is more objective. Pursue rationality and practicality.
And the title of the book itself. It's called The Buddha's Super-Rational Thinking. Just emphasize its rationality. What exactly did the Buddha think?
How to solve our troubled problems.
Then the author says,
to eliminate worries.
First you need to understand a problem. What is trouble in Buddhism?
There is a very insightful summary of the troubles. There are 8 hardships in life. These 8 hardships. It's the most fundamental trouble in life.
It's called birth, old age, sickness, and death.
Love is parted and resentment lasts forever. I can't help but can't let go. Birth, old age, illness, and death are easier. Being alive and growing up is a kind of pain. Growing old is also a pain.
If you are sick, you will suffer physical and mental pain.
Please pay attention to this death.
It's not that you will still feel pain after death.
But before death, people will face the fear and anxiety of death, and love parting.
Just with the person you like.
The pain of separation.
Complaining for a long time. Some scriptures do not write about complaining for a long time.
Complain and hate.
Just stay with people you don't like. This kind of pain.
I can't get it no matter how hard you try.
In the end, I still can't get this kind of pain. The last one is called 5 aggregates blazing suffering. The 5 aggregates refer to color, feeling, thought, behavior, and consciousness, corresponding to the body, feeling, thought, behavior, and consciousness respectively. 5 aggregates are blazing. It means that the 5 aggregates are in constant change and conflict.
Bring us all kinds of pain.
It's our mind-body. Various conflicts cause some pain. Simply put, it is the pain of being powerless. No way. Yes, this 8th suffering is also the root of the first 7 sufferings. The reason why the first 7 sufferings are suffering.
They are all suffering from powerlessness. So the source of pain and trouble is only one sentence.
Just helpless.
We can't solve it.
So it hurts. So it is trouble.
Then no matter what kind of pain everyone has. In fact, they are all helpless.
As long as you have a way to solve it.
Then it's not pain.
It's not a worry.
This also explains why it doesn't matter how much money you have. You will still have troubles. There will eventually be things you can't do anything about. So troubled, fundamentally.
It's the things we can't do about.
A negative psychological reaction.
So since it is something that cannot be done, it is impossible for us to eliminate this matter. For example, the source of your troubles is your parents. It's because they keep putting pressure on you. Let you do this or that.
Can you destroy your parents?
What we are discussing today is the troubles that cannot be solved.
I've been tormenting you about this.
For example, your problem is your past.
You can't solve your past.
Your troubles are your diseases.
You can't solve this disease. So if these problems cannot be solved,
how do we eliminate? Worry, it is always there. How to eliminate? Buddha said, since we can't solve these problems, let's solve it ourselves. What's the meaning?
It's just that worries are helpless things, a negative psychological reaction.
So solve the problem.
It is to solve this negative psychological reaction. You don't have this negative psychological reaction.
No, there will be no worries. And what is this negative psychological reaction? The Buddha said that they are actually meaningless.
Redundant inner reactions.
The Buddha did not mean. What do you think about things around you?
Can't react to external things.
It's normal to have a reaction.
Us as a creature.
There must be responses to changes in the outside world.
The issue is,
you can't make redundant and meaningless reactions. So what is a redundant and meaningless reaction?
It means you reacted.
It has no impact on this matter. There will be no change.
That's called a redundant and meaningless reaction.
In fact, Buddha and Lao Tzu said the same thing.
I value inaction.
Just don't make unnecessary and meaningless efforts. Buddha said, don't make redundant and meaningless reactions. And Buddha said, as long as you don't make these unnecessary reactions, your life will be extremely beautiful. Give you an example. It may be easier for everyone to understand.
Just like you are queuing up. There are many people lined up in front. You will suddenly feel annoyed.
Especially when the person in front of you moves slowly. After saying this, you will be even more annoyed. He delayed your time.
Okay, what should you do if you don't want to worry about it? Do you want to take out everyone in front of you? You can't solve it, right?
Are you going to jump in line?
Make us bigger problems.
What should I do? You can only be like everyone else. Just wait quietly, just don't worry yourself. If you're the last one in line, you won't be able to catch the plane.
Then there's no point in bothering you.
Isn't that called a meaningless reaction? What the Buddha meant, just wait patiently.
Let nature take its course.
I also said it. Do nothing, don't do anything. Let nature take its course. Well, that doesn't solve anything. Yes, did we say that?
Today we are talking about problems that cannot be solved. Because it can't be solved.
So we can only change our own thinking.
Position and trigger angle.
Just change the angle from which we think about the problem.
It can reduce a little trouble.
Be more happy and comfortable.
Wouldn't it be nice? Many people say that I am a bit too negative.
Indeed, Lao Tzu's ideas are very important to society. Not so positive
is relatively negative.
But it's super positive for us personally.
He solved the fundamental problem. Is a matter of our personal safety and contentment.
This is actually what we are in this world.
The most fundamental thing that should be pursued. You gain personal security
and satisfied. Only then can we pursue social value.
I go back to the next question. That's why we have this meaningless reaction. Although I said, tell us not to react in such a meaningless way. But our first instinct is to react this way.
Why is that? Buddha also gave the answer. It's because we have desires. When our desires cannot be satisfied, we'll cause trouble.
But I really like this unsatisfied desire.
Everyone likes it. This is what our nature seeks. When I have the ability to satisfy,
I want to keep him.
Because once satisfied, you have no desire.
People basically pursue desires.
Buddha said,
people have 7 base desires.
They are desire for survival, desire for sleep, appetite, and sexual desire.
These 4 are the lowest level.
A little more advanced on top.
Excessive desire means everyone wants to be lazy.
Don't want to work so hard.
Everyone wants to enjoy life. The desire for recognition is in our subconscious mind. Is it because I want to gain approval from others? This is not controlled by your consciousness.
It's subconscious.
Because as a social animal,
as a member of society,
we are not recognized by others. It's hard to survive in this group. So this is a basic underlying desire.
So, the result of our pursuit of this desire. What is it then?
It doesn't matter whether your desire comes true or not.
Just whether you are satisfied.
You will pursue more desires.
Just like you said, you have some things you want to keep.
Don't want to satisfy him. Because of what? You just like this feeling of pursuit. People are like this, so even if it is satisfied, you will pursue your next desire.
That is to say,
desire will never be satisfied in the end. Not satisfied,
we will continue to pursue.
What will eventually form? It's called reincarnation. Reincarnation in Buddhism, basically it means a never-ending pursuit of desire by people.
Ring of pain.
Then escape from reincarnation. The only way to get out of this painful cycle.
Just let go. Let go of desires. Let go of attachment. What's their point? Author is no more meaning. But there is no pain, is such that
without attachment, there is no pain,
no pursuit. There will be no unnecessary reactions. There will be no worries. Is that because we are concerned about some of the things happening around us? Things that might cause me trouble.
No unnecessary reaction.
This is over. Not like this, the author says.
We encountered something, a bad time.
Correct solution.
Not only must there be no unnecessary reactions,
and you have to understand your troubles correctly.
Otherwise, you won't be able to react after all. You may be forcing yourself now. No response.
But you don't understand.
You will still think about this eventually.
You always don't understand.
He will eventually bother you.
So it's very important to understand.
You just have to figure it out. Only then can you untie the knot in your heart. Achieve true and complete freedom from worries. He said when you feel upset, 3 things to do.
First thing, just use as precise language as possible.
To describe your troubles. Describe to whom? Describe to yourself. He said that troubles are troubles.
It's because he is chaotic.
Deep in your heart. He's like a mess, if he is clear.
Maybe it's not that troublesome. You need to untie this mess. You have to use language to sort it out first. You can also write it down. You can also tell it to yourself. But use language to sort it out.
If you can really think directly with your brain.
Completely forgot about this matter.
You are immediately happy.
But some people can't. He will struggle with this issue. He thinks he is happy.
He will also return to this issue.
Been thinking.
Why can't I understand? Although you may tell me not to think about it.
But I still think about it. I tell you now. If you are persistent on this issue, how to solve it? First you have to think it through. You can explain your troubles clearly. It shows that you truly understand this problem. What do you want? What bothers you? So what about the second step? Just close your eyes.
Feel your mood. When a person opens his eyes,
often receive a lot of trouble, unable to truly understand one's own feelings.
So meditate. Close your eyes and feel how your body feels. You are angry.
You are sad.
Still scared.
What about the third step? Just classify your worries. It's because you can tell him clearly what he is.
You know how you feel too.
Let's categorize it below. The author says that there are 3 categories of worries. Desire-type worries,
angry worries, and paranoid worries.
What is the worry of desire?
That's the source of your troubles.
Is an unreasonable or excessive request.
Excessive expectations.
For example, my eyes are not big enough.
My skin is not white enough. My legs are not long enough. It's just that you simply can't achieve it. But if you still look forward to it, will cause problems.
This is a desire-type worry.
Then the second type of worry is angry worry. It's just something that happened to a person suddenly.
Entering into a state of anger.
A very angry mood.
For example, someone disturbed me.
Denied failure.
Frustration, stress.
These may cause anger and distress. Then the third type is also called delusional worries.
The author says,
delusional worries are the biggest source of human troubles. It's just that most worries are actually delusional. It's just that you think too much.
Just thinking about it doesn't mean you're uneasy.
They are basically pessimistic delusions about the future.
This is not an objective fact at all.
You don't know whether it will happen or not. But you've started to torture yourself with your imagination.
So you have to think carefully. This trouble of yours, is it an objective fact, or is it just a guess on your part?
A delusion. It's already annoying enough.
I have to think about this problem again and again. If you don't think it through,
I won't solve it tonight. It might bother you for years. It is different from other inner reactions. Don't say you were shocked. It could be a matter of seconds.
But the trouble may really last for several years, ultimately depressing. This is the greatest sorrow of troubles. Most people's worries. He himself knows what's going on. But you have to go through these 3 steps to classify it.
Only then can you understand more clearly what it is. Only then can you understand that it is something that does not exist. It's a meaningless thing.
It's just something to torture yourself.
Something that can't solve any problem.
The author says,
Our troubles.
basically they fall into one of these 3 categories.
Or all 3 categories belong to. There is also a possibility. But no matter which kind.
In addition to being able to torture yourself, no other meaning, when you show it,
may torture others.
And these 3 kinds of troubles. In the end, it's all caused by mentality. So as long as,
Adjust your mentality.
if you think about the problem, his troubles will be eliminated. For example, if you have desire type worries,
Then you have no choice but to let it go.
don't have so many desires, so much expectation.
If you are angry and worried,
Just calm down. Anger can't solve any problem.
if you are dealing with small worries,
Don't think blindly. It's useless to think so much. And imagination is still imagination after all. It is not an objective fact. So to summarize, that's what Buddha told you. Look at your troubles calmly and objectively. To solve your troubles,
you can't solve one. Something you don't quite understand. Too many people don't understand their own troubles.
so I've been worrying. When you truly understand your troubles, you will find, most likely just a boring idea. Except for your troubles. In addition to precise definition and classification, the author also emphasizes that there is a type of trouble, very special, just feel inferior,
Inferiority often comes from the experience of failure.
or a very bad family environment or something like that. Person with low self-esteem,
Because I have experienced too many blows. Or too big a blow. So they are more eager to succeed than the average person.
and desire to be recognized by others. And if this desire cannot be satisfied,
They become extremely aggressive. They will think other people's success.
there must have been some unfair means, otherwise, why do we do the same thing?
I won't succeed.
This is a sign of a person with low self-esteem.
That's his problem. It's just that he doesn't think there's anything wrong with him.
Rather, I believe that all problems lie in the environment, on others.
So he will attack everything around him. Even attack yourself. Certainly. Not all people with low self-esteem are aggressive. There is another type of person who is the escape type. Escape from reality.
Will shift attention to some.
Very easy to implement. For example, alcohol dependence,
Drug dependence, gambling dependence, spend money desperately.
shopping dependence. Because I feel uncomfortable inside. So I want to spend money. Buying things desperately. Buy useless things.
This is all a kind of practical escape.
It's when people have high-level desires. When it cannot be realized, they will enjoy a low-level desire. A desire that is easier to realize. And when lower desires, eventually it gradually became impossible to achieve. Or due to excessive practice. When you can't be satisfied, these people,
Will become depressed, so the author said.
no matter when, you must not feel inferior.
This is a very dangerous state.
So how to prevent low self-esteem?
How to prevent worries from happening.
There are 3 things that can solve your worries.
The first one is to go out for a walk.
Can distract you. Where are there people,
Especially afraid of being in an environment where there is no change. Waiting too long,
because if the environment does not change,
your attention will focus on your imagination. You will have all kinds of delusions. That is the source of the third trouble. Just go out, just take a walk for 10 minutes. When you walk out of the house, saw the reality.
these delusions of yours will disappear indirectly. There is a lot of pressure in the workplace.
Have a lot of troubles.
Also because staying in a closed work environment for long periods of time. So a very powerful company.
All are open work environments. It doesn't limit your working environment.
You can work anywhere.
He is just afraid that you will have all kinds of strange troubles.
In fact, The online world is a highly information intensive.
Such a stayed for a long time.
Naturally, there will be great pressure.
Information is too dense because the network environment is designed like this.
The real world does not have such high density of information.
So it's relatively easy.
Looking online, it seems that everyone is rich. Will you have all kinds of pressure?
Just give him imagination.
It turns out that everyone around me is so rich. I am the only one who has no money. You will create stress.
An inexplicable method. Actually, the reality is not like this.
You will find out when you go out. Many people are like you.
Is an ordinary person.
Also living a normal life. There is not such a huge gap online. The second thing that can eliminate worries and pain.
Things that keep you from feeling inferior. Just look at this wide world. People see a vast scene.
Will feel that oneself
is very small.
That's why eminent monks, they are all on the mountain, practice there. In meditation,
because the wider the environment,
you will feel smaller and smaller. Those things about you become less important.
So we often talk about the universe. Think more about big picture things. You used to pay attention to those trivial things. It's no longer a thing, no longer a worry. Then the third thing. Just learn to accept yourself.
Many of people's troubles come from not accepting the reality of themselves. You think you shouldn't be like this. When you accept yourself,
and that's when I'm like this, then there will be no more worries.
Of course, accepted. It's not a kind of giving up.
It means that you can face your own problems, and you accept yourself.
Only then can you recognize your current achievements.
For example, if you take an exam,
50 people in the class.
Maybe some people got second place in the exam. He will be particularly troubled.
I am worried that I can take the second exam again.
But in fact,
you are already better than the remaining 48 people. It's just that you don't accept yourself.
You can't see your results.
Parents will say, you can't compare yourself when you get older.
Buddha has the answer. Buddha said, this world is not only divided into victory and defeat.
There are many roads we can take.
You should tell your parents this. Will he?
No, you can explain it to him like this. Look at the world now. Know the successful people you can contact. How many people have become successful people by studying well?
Just a little part.
There are successful people in every industry. There are successful people in every field. So there are various paths to success in life.
For example, this monk.
Your parents may not have said how successful they want you to be.
Just hope you pass.
A prosperous, happy and stable life. Then don't put pressure on us.
This is what Buddha meant. You may not have much talent in learning,
but it doesn't represent you as a person. He is not a person who can succeed.
You may be in other ways.
Will surpass everyone's talent. If you focus on your academic performance, then you ignore your talent.
Just like if you only see the first place.
If it's 1 point higher than you will ignore. In fact, you are already better than 48 people.
Because of your narrow perspective. Maybe you won't be able to see many of your achievements.
A lot of effort. That is, you can't dwell on failure.
You as the second place. If you look at number 1, you are a loser. But look at the remaining 48 people. You are successful.
But secondly, I don't have those worries. Ha ha.
But some people have troubles. We can't put our energy into it. Spend time on these worries.
The key is this question.
So where should I put my energy? Buddha also said.
That is, you should put your energy.
Focus on positive things, rather than negative emotions. Worry is a negative emotion.
It will consume a lot of your energy and physical strength. And this negative emotion may further trigger attacks on others.
Cause low self-esteem, cause depression. So there is no benefit at all. So what are positive things? This is said in Buddhism.
There are 4 kinds of compassion, joy and equanimity.
These are the 4 qualities that practitioners should cultivate. What is compassion?
That is, to all living beings around us. Have a loving and kind heart. Hope they get happiness.
What is itness?
It's the pain for all living beings. Be compassionate and compassionate. Happiness is for others. Rejoice in success and happiness,
rather than jealousy and competition.
To let go is to let go of attachments.
Let go of desires. Don't be angry and paranoid. Call it equanimity. Even if the first 3 points are achieved,
He won't solve his own troubles.
only the last point. The first 3 are for you to achieve nirvana,
Let you escape reincarnation. Go to the paradise world.
and the last one is the solution. Equanimity is the fundamental solution to troubles.
How about doing these for points?
You will have no worries, and do these for things.
You will be out of reincarnation.
Complete relief. So to sum up, basically, what the Buddha means is that trouble is just one day. Even if you don't worry, it's a day.
Why not spend the day happily? When you have troubles,
You turn your attention to other lower level desires, but that kind of escape is wrong.